February 15th school board special meeting. We have some professional staffing recommendations and some co-curricular staffing recommendations, some other personnel items unnecessary for vote.
It looks like the boardroom screen is not, maybe it's not
Oh,
the same one, so let me just double
Yeah.
check.
yeah, I can wait.
Craig, did we start at 7 exactly? Yep. Sorry. Getting this stuff together. Bless you.
I know. I hate that view. That view that was just there. It's the most unflattering view. I feel like we have to move. Well,
You got lighting issues.
I mean, just if you just spin
Lighting issues are
constantly.
right.
We're going to call the meeting to order at 7:02 PM on Monday, March 4th, 2024. We have some consent agenda items that, let me get back to where I was here, that include the minutes of the February 19th regular school board meeting and the February 15th school board special meeting. We have some professional staffing recommendations and some co-curricular staffing recommendations, along with personnel items unnecessary for vote. So I would look for a motion to approve the consent agenda items as listed.
Sure, I move to accept the consent agenda as presented.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Kate. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously, 5-0. And we will move to public comments, of which I believe there are none.
We have not anyone registered for the meeting or this evening to speak.
Thank you. So we'll move along to the McFarland High School student report. There we are.
Joey.
Joey.
Well, say it.
Go ahead. Uh-oh. You got trouble? Look at
We
that.
can't hear you, Joey.
Can't hear you, Joey. That, got it.
There he is.
All right. Here we go. then. Front high school student reports, highlights. All right. So, was it, like last week, our deck team went to state for Front DECA from February 25th to February 28th to 17 members of the 2024 state competition. 12 will be attending the international conference in California this April. So, congratulations to Val, Mia, Bella, Emmy, Lauren, Kendra, Kristen, Maddie, Cora, and Jackson, and Kendall. Super awesome performance by all of our members. So that was super great. And then also at Deca State, Spartan Headquarters, which is a school-based enterprise managed by McFarland students in the class, Spartan Headquarters, taught by Ms. Rojos at the high school. They were recognized as a gold certified school-based enterprise and will be recognized at the International Career Development Conference this April in California as well. Also on February 24th, the Visual Arts Classic team from MHS competed in the Visual Arts Classic competition at UW Whitewater, coming home declared with various medals and ribbons. Congratulations to the Visual Arts Classic team. We also had the We Are Many United Against Hate Youth Unity Summit. So on February 28th, last week, the McFarland Performing Arts Center hosted the We Are Many United Against Hate Unity Summit attended by schools across Wisconsin. It featured a couple of speakers and allowed over 300 high schoolers work together and brainstorm equitable solutions to the issues their schools face. That was a super awesome event. We also had last week students from Multicultural Club, BSU, and the Asian American Studies Association traveled to CEPS with their 4K classes. They read the book Each Kindness by Jacqueline Woodson. So it was an incredible way to engage our younger students. Super awesome for them to see our involved MHS students. Also last week, our marketing 2 classes went on a business trip to the newly opened Grace Coffee and met with the owner, David, who spoke about launching a new store and his experience as well as promotion and pricing and layout. That was an awesome real life experience for the students in marketing too. We also last week had the state superintendent Jill Underly visit to take a special look at our career and education programs. Visit our retail merchandising class, the coffee cart, look at the wood shop and see what people are doing in there. Listen to a youth apprenticeship panel, show the tech ed department, and ate food by the FACS students, and also viewed the DECA projects that went to state later on, and viewed all the business and marketing courses. So it was a super awesome, fun-filled day. We also last week on Friday celebrated our student council for collecting over 1,000 boxes of cereal to donate to the food pantry. There's a picture of our huge domino thing that was set up in the gym on our assembly on Friday. So huge congratulations and amazing job to our student council. That was super awesome. Coming up, so what will be going on at MHS? MHS will be holding its annual solo and ensemble for their choir, band, and orchestra students to perform individual and group pieces on March 9th at the high school. So good luck to all those performers. We also will be having an assembly on March 13th brought to us by Danny's ambassadors, educating us on teen use of THC. So that'll be super awesome. And then some sports updates. So also at our assembly on Friday and the different assembly, I think, in the previous Tuesday, we recognized the boys swim team for their awesome first place at the state competition. They did an amazing job. The coaches speak about what an awesome team this is. So huge congratulations to them. And then some student staff updates. We got some staff shout outs. Congratulations to Mr. Tui, Mr. Dirk, Miss Wink, and Mr. T for being shouted out to students. All super awesome stuff. And then CTE month recognition. Week 4, we are recognizing Sophia Bexon, Kristen Spade, for their awesome work as a part of youth apprenticeship and their participation in our CTE classes. And that is it. Woohoo!
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That is.
Wow.
Holy cow.
So efficient.
Comments? Anyone?
Joe, I helped put away some of the 1,000 boxes in the food pantry.
Oh.
And that was a lot of heavy lifting, let me tell you. It was really fun. It was awesome.
Didn't they have like 1,044 boxes?
I think it was about 1,015 thereabouts.
Wow.
Pretty amazing.
That video was so cool.
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
Did the food pantry have storage space for all those?
We're creative.
Yeah, they said they wanted them all. We
Yeah.
asked.
Yeah, and
That's amazing.
we're not giving any to other pantries, because it was within the pantry's kind of domain, we kept it all. So they'll be going out, but it was a lot of work. It was fun.
And I can attest that I was able to attend both the United Against Hate event and also to sit in on the state superintendent's visit. And both of those events were those things that happen out throughout the course of the year that makes us feel really proud. And you guys just do such a fantastic job of hosting folks and making sure the right people are there. I couldn't help but just beam the way our CTE kids, those were pretty much big shots, in the state education realm. And I thought all of our students were just phenomenal. And the United Against Hate, again, that's one that just makes you proud. Congratulations. Yes, you do.
I want to second that, because those were just amazing experiences.
It is.
Yeah.
I'd like to add that when Johnny's ambassadors come on the 14th during the day, there's also a presentation in the evening for parents and the community.
Where is that going to be?
I think it's up in the student center upstairs. And just for our listeners, if they don't know what CTE is, it's Career Technical Education.
Yes, there'll be a really nice article in the Thistle. I saw the online version today about the visit
Oh, good.
from the state superintendent, very detailed.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Joseph.
We'll see you next time we see you.
Thank you. See ya.
Have a great week.
You too.
Okay, moving on. We have some informational items leading off.
Oh, that's exciting. Oh,
Ooh,
is Val trying to say something?
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome, so sorry, I wasn't feeling good and I just realized.
Aw.
Oh,
You're so nice.
congratulations on your DECA first place.
no kidding.
Thank you.
Holy cow. That's really good.
Thanks.
Feel better.
Yes, feel better.
Absolutely.
Glad they made it, okay.
All right, see ya, Val.
Okay, the floor is yours.
Come on up.
Present.
Okay, so first I thought we would introduce ourselves. So my name is Izzy Tobin. I'm one of the Eco Club co-presidents.
And then I'm Riley Malecki, I'm the other one.
Oh, sorry. So one of the first projects that we're doing this year is the Renew Our Schools competition. So we participated in this last year, and it's a competition hosted by the company Focus on Energy and also the Wisconsin K-12 Climate Education at Stevens Point. And so this competition is basically for Eco Club to do actions that contribute to either energy education in our school or decrease energy usage in our school. And last year we won this competition and Eco Club won $2,000. And so this year we're in the competition with 5 other schools that are alumni schools that participated in it last year. And we're hoping to win again. We're working towards that. So one of the things that we're doing for this competition is an energy audit with one of the environmental science classes at our school. So that is pretty much going around to different classrooms using watt meters to test phantom loads, which is electronics that use energy without actually being on, and also use light sensors to test if there's either too much light in classrooms, too little light, and temperature sensors to test for window air leakage. And so doing this energy audit will allow us to create goals for our school. And another thing that we're doing coming up is presenting at a staff meeting at the end of the month, and we'll help talk to staff about how they can help the school reach its goals within that audit and help us win this competition.
Sorry. Also, I just got my wisdom teeth out, so sorry if I talk a little slow. Also, in April, we're going to be doing some Earth Day activities with WIS and SEPS. On Earth Day, we're going to try to go to WIS and do a water filtration lab activity to talk to the 5th grade peers about like the importance of lining the trees with like lakes and like clean and renewable water and different filtration techniques that work well. And then for our 1st graders, we are planning to do some like little planting activities with like little seeds in cups to start getting like them involved and interactive with some of that might be a little more on their level. And then some things that are coming up on our agenda that we want to get to is the idea of composting at McFarland High School. I've been reaching out with Heather Phelps from KEEP K-12 at UW Stevens Point. They do a lot of
Mini grants.
yeah, mini grants for different fundings of school projects that kids are interested in doing in their schools. So I've been in touch with her to get some resources on the potential of composting. And from her, I got the name Susan Scholler from Recycling Connections and Dr. Michael April from Sheboygan South High School. So hopefully we're going to be talking and getting in touch with them soon on implementing composting at McFarland High School. Also, another thing that is continuing to be on our agenda is the Dane County Youth Environmental Committee. The DCYEC is a student-led nonprofit organization throughout Dane County with different students who meet once a month from 1 to 3 p.m. on the second Sunday to kind of just talk about like what's going around in their schools, some challenges that they're facing, and how to get some guidance from other schools on how to tackle some of those issues. So we usually try to get at least one Eco Club member there every month to kind of just talk about what McFarland's doing and get some help from other schools as well.
And then another thing that we're working on right now is ordering plants for the school garden. So last year we did more of like a vegetable-focused garden. This year we're planning on doing native plant species to help with the pollinators around here. And also with the school garden, we are planning on building a retention pond because last year there were a lot of problems with water, like washing mulch out into drains. So we're working on trying to problem solve that.
Where is the school garden?
So back here.
It's kind of by like the tech ed bay.
Back there?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a better.
Over there.
How many members do you have in your club?
Last year we had like 7, and I think the Renew Our Schools competition like got people aware about Eco Club. Now we have like 15 people
That's
that like
fantastic.
consistently come to meetings too.
Great.
Stole my question. That's cool.
It is awesome what you guys are doing, because you're doing things that, in a sense, there's no tangible reward that you can see. You're doing this altruistically, and we need more people to be altruistic. So just thank you. It's just, to me, it's the highest level of achievement you can do.
Thank you. And that's why I'm really excited about the Earth Day activities with the younger kids, because like hands-on activities like that is how like me, along with I know a lot of people, like when you're at a young age and you do an activity in school, like that sticks with you for the rest of your life. And that's like they'll later join Eco Club, hopefully later carry that into the rest of their life. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, thank you. I think it's wonderful you're reaching to the younger kids. That's just awesome.
It's truly impactful,
Yeah.
you know, and if you can get interest, the younger they are, the more interest that you'll see coming through. And this is only going to become more important, you know, to society. You're doing things that impact everyone, not just the students. And the composting, that's a great idea. I never even really dawned on me, but I bet we create a bunch.
A lot.
We can get control.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
have a compost pile, but it just has like it's for like weeds right now from the garden. So
Yeah.
like
We tried starting it last year, and it lasted about like a week before people lost interest in it, and just we also, with like the food staff, weren't on like the same page with everything. So that's something we want to try to hit a little harder and get more organized, so everyone's on the same page.
But don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to dream big and it doesn't quite make it. You'll keep going, just keep plugging away. You guys are just doing a wonderful job.
thank you.
I have a couple of things. With the energy audit, are you working collaboratively with the buildings and grounds folks here?
Yeah, so
Because I would imagine they'd be a great resource.
they've been super helpful, and we have this device called an e-gauge, and it's in like the utility room in 2 of them. And so we've been working with the buildings and grounds people to like get that set up, and like they understand the e-gauge. They're like helping us with this a lot. They've been very helpful.
Great. And then you talked about doing seeds with first graders. What kind of seeds are you helping them plant in these cups?
I believe you talked about bean seeds or something that's like easily transferable into like the ground.
Okay.
We're gonna like grow them in like little, they can like decorate like little paper cups, something that can like start to grow in there, but then they can also like learn about like transferring that over like into like their backyards and stuff,
Yeah.
something small like that transfers well.
Well, if you do it soon enough, that would make a great Mother's Day present from the kids.
First week of May.
Yep.
Something like that. Anybody else?
No, I certainly applaud your efforts. It's wonderful what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, these are the things that make us folks proud to be a part of the district. You're doing great things.
Thank you.
Difference makers.
Good job.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, update. Mr. Mooney, CISA 2, Board of Control.
Okay, again, we meet, it was every other month, but now it seems to be every month. Last time we talked about, the McFarland School District has indicated an interest in learning more about international high school students from China. I think CISA's talked to some of the superintendents and just indicated that they'd like to know more about that. The program has been in Janesville for quite a while, and they have 47 students. They have a capacity of having 125 students from China come. The problem is housing for them. So they're going to be reaching out to other communities to see if they'll house students from China. India is the next country that's very interested in having American schools, districts host exchange students. And that's in the future. There's a lot of incentives per students. It's like $10,000 to $12,000 for tuition, $10,000 for room and board, and there's no tax dollars used. It comes to the district. They're also looking for cultural experiences this spring for Chinese students in grades 5 through 8. That'll be apparently in Janesville for a short time. They talked about sharing intellectual property for employees / CISA and the copyright rules. I think one of the board policies that we talked about, that we'll talk about tonight, talks about, I think, school property. But I'm not sure if we have anything that talks about intellectual property rights in board policy. But that's something that CISA is presently talking about. CISA provides purchasing services. I think I talked about that last month. 30 districts are on board. 30 districts apparently participated in that. And that's where a district lets CISA know they're interested in a new roof, for example. They'll send out RFPs or whatever. They won't name the whole school district, though. You know, they just try to get that bid with the specifics. And two of the big ones that they did this year was a roof, new roofing in the Ripon School District, and student hardware to outfit students with devices. CISA sponsors Bellenby has been resurrected again. And again, there's 74 districts in CISA 2. And on March 12th, there's a recruitment fair at Cambridge High School. I think McFarland's part of that, isn't it? Are we, Aaron? That's what I thought. And that concludes my report.
Any questions? Comments?
Yes. I would like to just talk a little bit about the international program. So I went to CISA 2, so I went to Whitewater to hear a little bit more about it firsthand. And really they're at a point where Janesville is saying we can't meet the needs. So they're looking to possibly partner with area districts, with CISA 2 being somewhat of a coordinator, because there's a lot of logistics that need to go behind it. So we're kind of waiting a little bit. There are some opportunities for staff to possibly travel to China this summer as an experience. But just to give you some context, pre-pandemic, we did have some activities in the district. So we, the middle school hosted, for 2 years, we hosted students for a couple weeks, would come in, stay with McFarland families, attend school at the middle school, and we'd provide kind of, different opportunities for them and learn about each other. We also had staff travel to China to teach summer school.
I remember.
So middle school staff went, and some high school staff went to China. And then I think 3 times we had staff travel to China to present at conferences there. So I was able to do that one year and traveled to China and presented at a conference there about social emotional learning. So there's some really nice opportunities, and it kind of, the pandemic sort of paused all of that, and now it sounds like kind of restarting similar things, but possibly adding this idea of having students stay here for extended periods of time on a visa and attend school here. So
Exciting
it's different
opportunity.
than like a foreign exchange program. but I'll spare you the details, so. Definitely interested in that. And we are going to the Educator Fair next Wednesday. I think it is. So we're excited about that.
Yeah,
Good stuff. Thank you.
cool.
Anything else? Well, let's move along to our district administrator's report. A?
Excellent, excellent. Well, Joseph took all of my stuff pretty much, but few recognitions. I didn't get to go, but on the schedule was a jazz ensemble concert at the PAC on the 21st. I haven't heard anything
I
about
heard
it,
it
but
was
I'm
just
assuming- Did you?
excellent.
It's my favorite concert. I shouldn't say that. I really enjoy that concert. I like jazz, and Mrs. T does not. So it's one of the ways I get to see jazz. So they always do a great job. The energy at the jazz ensemble is always really good. So if you get a chance to go see that. Also wanted to acknowledge on the 24th was a really exciting night here at the middle school and the high school. We had the string fling. So orchestra, and all-day clinics and workshops, and then culminating in a concert that evening, which was just really fun. A great event, and was able to see a lot of people there. And then down here, we had the dance showcase. So our dance team had been working with 60 elementary students and doing little, training them on relatively short but exciting dance routines, and then performing as well. Really well attended. Really fun event. I couldn't believe how well it was organized with the groups of those young kids coming in. And then, of course, that was the basketball game too, the girls' basketball game. So kind of going back and forth. And I don't think they mentioned, the girls' basketball team made it to the sectional finals, played a really tough game on Saturday, played really well, almost came back. I mean, it was really,
close.
really exciting. So just a great season, culminating in that. And our boys also had a playoff game as well. And hockey did well too, did an upset in hockey. A lot of that was shared at the assembly the other day. The middle school had the family fun night, which was overwhelming. I'm sure you saw on the travels. I could not believe it.
It was unreal.
That many people, and the parking, as you know, at the middle school is the worst.
Oh, my gosh.
So people were walking for miles.
I think there were over 500.
Yeah,
there was?
600,
Yeah.
600 something.
633.
Amazing. And it
Roughly.
was really well done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
really
many
great event.
smiles.
Lots
Yeah.
of smiles.
Yeah.
So it was really nice. That was something that we had pre-pandemic, had twice. So excited. And then we have a bunch of events coming up. WIS is having a similar event, and Conrad has the carnival coming up. Let's see. Oh, so last Thursday, we had the inaugural meeting of the Dane County School Board and Superintendent Consortium. So this is a new group of interested districts who are sending district leaders, and Megan was able to attend, and so was Craig. We were able to attend with other districts, and just talking about recognizing that we have so much in common, that we could share ideas, learn from each other. We're kind of setting our purpose a little bit in that first meeting, but just saying we have common struggles, so why are we doing this by ourselves? And it was just a neat interaction to have. We have superintendent meetings often, but you don't have those meetings where board members and superintendents get together. So, we're still kind of figuring out how often we'll meet and those kind of things, but really exciting to hear from the other districts. Many districts, Middleton, Verona, Madison, it was in Sun Prairie, Oregon, Monona Grove, Wanakee.
Most of the
There's
districts in Dane
Marshall,
County.
I think Marshall was there.
Marshall, maybe Belleville, maybe?
Yeah, I think maybe Belleville.
I think what I found to be most outstanding is that the executive assistants are also included in this.
Yes.
And it's
Yeah, You
finally,
didn't want to go the first one.
but it's just a way to recognize the impact that those people have on the function of a school district. I don't think people can begin to understand. So I just found that was excellent,
Very thoughtful.
that they were included.
Long overdue.
Good.
Absolutely.
We're
It
excited
was,
about that.
it was really interesting to hear the common struggles and the common themes that like I wouldn't necessarily have thought about, you know, it was very interesting, very topical with, I think, the referendum coming up. You know, like that we're really not alone. And then also just that Dane County has suffered different needs than the rest of Wisconsin, which, you know, we talk about, but it wasn't quite as obvious as it was that night.
Can you give an example?
Let me think. Feel free to jump in if you think of any. I mean, the funding and the things that the families want supported and that the districts make a priority. Like all of the districts in attendance, one of the shared statements was about equity. And I think all of the districts in attendance have something already in place about that. And that's not necessarily either a desired or able to be a goal of other districts. But that was one of them. There were a bunch more, but.
Well, it gave assurances that, that any hires, any proposals that come through are looked at through a equity lens.
Okay.
And it's making a commitment, as a big group. And it included Madison as well, which I thought was informative. They're in such a kind of constant state of flux, but they got a new superintendent.
They do.
That'll change.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
And I actually knew that family, probably his dad. It's quite a family.
It was a really interesting meeting, and I think we gathered a lot, and it was one of those things where people are coming up to me afterwards saying, yeah, we're gonna have to go to referendum in November, and so pretty much meant everybody in the room either had just passed a referendum, we were there, and then everybody else is going in November.
Yeah.
So,
Was Stoughton there?
That's
They
what I
were
was
not.
just- Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
Was the one that kind of stuck out to me. I thought they'd be there.
so that was good. Other recognition today is Casimir Pulaski Day, which we recognize as of course, bringing order to the American cavalry and using modern training methods and establishing the necessity of an independent cavalry during the Revolutionary War. I obviously just read that, but yes.
That's great
Yeah.
information.
It is, thank you.
It's a big holiday in Illinois.
It is a state-recognized holiday. It's one of our many, so.
But I'm just thinking, we have a holiday for that. And think about how hard many folks fought for MLK Day.
Right.
And that was historical way back, and MLK is present history.
Exactly.
Sort of a dichotomy.
And so we have a slideshow, which you've seen half of, because Connect does such a great job. You didn't see this, though. The
Nope.
Norwegian dancers visit. Last year, they were at CEPS, and this year, they were at Wapisa. I just have to go.
They came
just
and
'cause
visited
it's
when
a
I was in
blast.
high school.
Yeah, they're still,
The Stoughton dancers have been around a long time.
it's very competitive to get in. They practice, I don't know how many days a week in the wee hours.
Mr. T, is that you in the center photo?
It might be. It might be.
Might be.
I will say, if you are looking at the cereal box video, you will see me in that.
Yeah, you had some good moves.
I don't know what I was doing there, but I was dancing.
You were dancing.
Another middle school final ski and snowboard trip. Another well-attended, exciting event, so thank you to the middle school staff for organizing that opportunity. World Read Aloud Day at the middle school, so they were able to, many of us came and were able to read there. I looked very animated, which was a lot of fun. And so a lot of people came in and were able to read on World Read Aloud Day at the middle school. Group field trip, keep marching. I have not seen that, but from what I heard was very good, and obviously they all loved it. Where was that?
Yeah, what,
I'm not sure where they ended up going. Where do you think it is? What does it look like?
Boy.
It looks like maybe the Orpheum?
yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, maybe the
or-
Orpheum. It's got some Orpheum vibes. Yeah, looks fun.
Yeah.
Possible.
Middle school robotics qualified for state.
Woohoo.
Always exciting. The nice thing is they were able to travel. I swear it was the most jinxed event when I was principal. Alan Kinnaman and I be talking, I don't know, the weather's so bad, I don't know if we can go there. But they made it and did really well. Just a great, great activity. And of course, now we have a high school team as well. If you haven't been to the middle school, I encourage you to stop up and check out this I Am display that they put together. There's so many beautiful things that students put up there to describe who they are, and, you know, some things that tug on the heartstrings for sure. Just amazing kids, really powerful. The Worry Stones, Miss Peely there at the middle school making some Worry Stones with the art ambassadors. Could use one of those, I think, these days.
Get a pocket full.
Creative idea, right? Middle school chemistry unit, that 7th grade, they do so many amazing things and they just love it. Those students eat it up. So exciting curriculum there. Optimist Club sponsoring the Students of the Month at the middle school. I always love how proud they are, those smiling faces. Well-deserved recognition. This speed debate and ethical dilemmas in business. It sounds very stressful to me.
Wow.
But an activity a simulation they're doing there in class in the beautiful facility there. Of course, you heard about the Multicultural Club, going and visiting there and doing some reading to the students, and then the class gets to keep the book. The trip to Grace Coffee, which you heard about already. Pipe, how do you say that?
Pipetting?
Pipetting skills, look at that.
Wow,
That looks fun, that looks like
Real lab
therapeutic,
stuff
doesn't it?
that's
You know,
incredible.
you pipe that.
Pipe editing? You're a pipe editor?
I don't know if my skills are that good.
Wow.
Neat activity there. Of course, we talked about swimming. It was really a great assembly. Visual arts you heard about as well. Bus Driver Appreciation Day, right, happened in between our meetings there. Great event. It's Music in Our Schools Month. So much to celebrate. What a robust program we have with orchestra and choir and our instrumental music offerings. Just really powerful programs. It is National School Breakfast Week. Love this picture, these pictures, you know, really to celebrate. And our numbers are up. I pay more attention to the middle school because I remember what those numbers are. And they're 3 times pretty much when I was principal. So I guess it was all my fault.
Well, that's because the doors are unlocked now.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I keep them outside. But really promoting that. And they really have it means a lot to them, the staff that work there, to have those numbers. They really take that so seriously.
They did a great job at Family Fun Night as well.
Yes.
They had the kitchen folks.
Yeah.
They made some stuff and talked about typical lunches and those kinds of
That's
things.
cool.
When you go around to all the schools, the kitchen staff are just so wonderful, and they're proud of what they're doing, and they're doing such a great job.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. A couple of things coming up, and then we'll turn it to the board if they have any other recognitions. Big week for referendum presentations. We had a great turnout tonight. What did we say, 19 or something? 19 people come before the board meeting tonight, presenting at the Lions Club tomorrow night, American Legion on Thursday. Friday's International Women's Day. Solo Ensemble you saw is coming up.
Where is that? Is that here?
I
It's here at
believe
the
it's
high
at the
school.
high school,
Yeah. I was actually gonna make a plug for it if you missed the jazz concert, the solo ensemble, it is incredible to see that. I believe we send middle school students kind of as a practice and prep. I know the orchestra does, but these students, I mean, they're doing solos, they're doing group activities, and some of the kids are signed up for 7 and 8 activities, and
huge event.
and it is open,
Yeah.
to the public if you want to go and check out some of them. It's really incredible for
Yes.
those who like music.
Well said.
Or Yale.
Ramadan starts on the 10th. Middle school choir concert coming up on the 12th. Kindergarten orientation starts
Oh my
on the
gosh.
first one's on the 13th. Also on the 13th, we have the high school reality zone for our juniors in the Student Learning Center. Band concert, high school band concert. The 16th is a choir cabaret, as well as the CEPS Winter Carnival.
Is that
The
rain?
18th is the Great Hunger in Ireland acknowledgement. And then we're back here for a board meeting. Something else I wanted to note, I just happened to hear about it in passing, was they had a big dance competition here this weekend from a group, outside group, renting the PAC. And I just want to acknowledge that how often that happens that I don't know about and I sort of stumble in. Like groups using our facilities. And I just think about the economic impact that it doesn't really make a ton of money for the district, and there's some, but really the economic impact that has for the community.
Oh, yeah.
All those people need to eat somewhere,
Yes.
and so we, I'm sure we try to warn people, but we're coming in. Those
Big
people are
deal.
coming in, so. Any other recognitions the board has?
The only one I would think of, it was mentioned during the public forum, was Becky Heim. She's a kindergarten teacher.
Yeah.
She's retiring this year. I know from firsthand experience, parents, kids love her.
Yeah.
I mean, she's just a natural educator. And
She a long time.
She's been here 20 years, maybe?
I don't know.
And
feel like
kindergarten
it's
teachers are
17.
generally beloved.
Pardon me?
I think she's been here maybe 17.
17? I knew they were in the new building when we hired
Yeah.
her.
Yeah, so for the public, somebody that was at the information session was talking about what great teachers we have and specifically mentioned her. So nice shout out, unprompted, right?
Yes,
But just
absolutely.
well-deserved.
Yep.
Well-deserved.
There is a youth apprenticeship recognition night at the Monona Grove High School, but they're gonna recognize, I think, McFarland
Like all
students as
being
well.
gone?
And that's at 5:30 on April 24th.
April
24th
24th?
at Monona Grove.
Will this be for all Dane County schools?
Seems
Okay.
like it.
We're gonna dominate.
But mostly us.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we're up to 75
It's incredible.
It's a lot.
this year.
They should really just have it here.
It's a credit to the staff we've got down there. I mean,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
they have offerings that you'd never even dream of.
Yeah, and our business partners as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Penny Thompson, amazing.
I would offer a recognition for Aaron and Jeff, and then also tonight, Melissa Full. The information sessions have been really helpful. They've been well-attended, and you guys are doing a great job handling the questions, constructive or otherwise. And also recognize the members of the community who are engaged enough to come in and ask those questions, and
This was the second one for a handful or so of the folks that were here
yeah,
tonight.
there are some.
Yeah, coming
Yep.
back?
Yep.
Yep, so it's working hard to inform people, so thank you for that.
This morning I was at, outside the pool as the fun and fitness class, as people were coming in and leaving, and they had some great questions. Our community members really want to be informed. And actually, the people that I interacted with they had heard, they were informed enough to know what to ask.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, what is this about? They all knew. Actually, they were tipped off that I was coming, so they came prepared. Some hard-hitting questions, so really good. Trying to get, we're all trying to get out as much as we can to different places, just be visible with our stickers, so be informed and vote, preferably in that order. All right. I'm gonna stop talking, because I'm the one filling up the agenda now here tonight.
That it, Mr. Tarnitzer?
That's all, I'm done.
All right.
Thank you.
Our first action item is action on first reading of policies. There are many. I would prefer not to read them all off if that's okay, but I would like a motion on the table to approve the first reading of these policies, if someone might be so kind.
I move to approve the first reading of policies listed in the agenda as recommended by the administration.
Thank you, Kate. Do I have a second?
I can second that.
Megan, thank you. Discussion?
Can we go in order again?
Yeah, that really
Yes,
works.
that worked well last time.
So helpful.
So, the first is 4430.01, family and medical leave of absence. Anything? 4430.0, nursing mothers. 5200, attendance.
Yes.
Mr. Mooney.
It's just a comment on page 3 of 6, under grades definition of a park day for unexcused absence.
Yes.
And they talk about if they aren't in their assigned areas for 20 minutes or more at the start of the school day. That is so frustrating for teachers when kids come in late. And I understand being involved with the district, but I just wish we could shorten that to, you should be in your seat when the bell rings.
Yep, and that, there's, the difference is between a tardy and an unexcused absence. So that's the, once it
Yeah, I
becomes
guess-
an unexcused absence, it starts counting for days. So there's other consequences
Yeah.
for students that are
Okay.
tardy. That's the distinction, and maybe it's not clear in that.
But even when they're tardy, yeah, it's so frustrating, yeah.
It is, oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great disruption to the classroom. And actually, the first 10, 15, 20 minutes of the school day are just as important as any of the curriculum because it sets the
Exactly.
tone for the day.
Sure.
Yeah, it gets the students in the right mode.
I agree.
So,
So we do have other consequences for the less than 20 minutes.
Yes.
and then on page 5 of 6, under makeup coursework and examinations, A, excused absences. The last sentence, or actually the last two, teachers will also have the discretion to specify when and where examinations and coursework shall be completed, including outside regular school hours. Does this include weekends?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't
Okay.
think regular school hours, yeah, that, anytime. I mean,
Okay,
obviously,
I
what
just
be
need a
reasonable.
clarification. And that's
Yep.
all I had for that one.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone
Go
else?
ahead.
Yeah, I had a general question, because this is about, because I think we reviewed this back in September. And so I think the biggest change here was the written versus like what was required to be written. Are the absence requests that families can put in on Infinite Campus, are those considered written?
Yes, but it's just,
Yeah.
you still have to give a reason, yeah. But it's still a
Yeah.
parent request.
Yeah.
I mean, it won't be, it still counts towards the limit,
Yes.
the 10-day limit.
I am fully aware of that one.
Experience?
Yes,
I
it
will
does
plead the
include,
fifth.
right.
But I just wanted to make sure.
That does, yes, that
Okay.
counts.
Okay.
Oral or written includes Infinite Campus.
Okay, because we really have so many great options for
Yes.
attendance this year, and so it's, at least at the high school.
That's, that's a real tribute to Lauren Arango and her leadership
Yeah, that's
and getting that
phenomenal.
going, and the associate principals.
Anything else? Moving on, 5350, suicide prevention, intervention, and postvention, replacing death by suicide. Nothing there?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
What, there's two.
Yeah, go first.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I didn't know if we were talking the precision one, yes. The first question that I had was about, in the first paragraph on the first page, the district administrator shall develop prevention, intervention, and postvention strategies and procedures. And we've talked a lot about it before, but I just was curious very broadly, what do we have currently in place?
Yeah, so, the prevention is really indicated in here, right? The staff development, the training for students, and I think that's really mentioned. And then in terms of intervention and postvention, so we have procedures, threat assessment, training that's provided to our staff. And they know how to go and to train and to screen and when to refer out to resources, when to contact parents, how to do that. So they're well-trained on that. There's a specific protocol that they use for that process. And of course, we also have a crisis intervention team should anything happen. And I will say, this is a frequent thing with staff intervening for concerns. Sometimes it's kids coming forward to report. Sometimes it's some things we detect online through, a student using a district computer. We have ways to do that, or, somebody just asking for help, so. Well-trained, and that's another good example of why our student services teams are so important.
And I guess I kind of saw it like below, where it's the drafting note with the letters A through D, and then there's EFG, and then it talks about staff development too. It kind of lists out some of the things that they do. So.
I've on page one of 3. Well, first of all, I want to just compliment, I think the first part, it's so inclusive, including all the pertinent parties. So I think it's really comprehensive. But the third paragraph, it talks about where that X is, the health curriculum in the secondary grades. Are we talking about 612 or 912?
612.
Okay, just want to make sure. And then the rest on this page where it says the district administrator may offer parents education, should that be written as district administrator or designee? Because you really don't.
Yeah, I'm
offer
not calling
parents.
up parents. Yeah, right.
Yeah, and the same with under prevention and instruction, where it says the district administrator shall annually inform professional staff of the resources available. Do you actually do that, or is that more of a designee through student services?
Yeah, it is a designee.
And the same, the next sentence also.
Yeah, I can easily update that for the second reading to make that clear that.
And then page 2 of 3 under staff development, the paragraph underneath there talks about staff training, and then the second sentence, it talks about the training shall be offered under the direction of a school counselor, school psychologist, and/or in cooperation with one or more community mental health agencies. Should we include social worker as part of that 3-person team rather than just the school psychologist and counselor?
Yeah, and I wonder, do we need to specify that, or can we just say a student services
Student
staff
services.
member?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
Why not?
It would be
Sure.
more inclusive.
Yep.
And it just kind of, it doesn't have to be.
And
Anything
that was
else?
it for me.
Okay, moving on. We have, it looks like 2 here, academic honesty, 5451.03. And then we also have a 5505, both academic honesty. 5517 is student.
wait a minute.
You got something?
Yeah, 5505,
Okay.
academic honesty. Artificial intelligence platforms are identified in here, which is really, needed. And Aaron and I have talked about it. It'd be nice if we had sort of a professional development session here to talk about what AI is, what we're doing here at the high school, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. Because we hear about it in the media, but I'm not quite sure how that pertains to what we're doing here.
Yeah, we could do a little presentation.
Yeah.
Anything else? 5517, student anti-harassment.
Let's see.
It's a long one.
Yeah.
That's
It
a-
is, and we just
Page-
updated this
Page
not
2
long ago.
of 11. In the middle, it talks about, under definitions, it talks about third parties. It talks about,
Which paragraph did you say?
Third
Some
parties and
definitions.
definitions.
the paragraph
Oh,
that
there
says
it
for
is.
third parties. What I was thinking, but Aaron and I talked about this probably a few months ago. Third parties of guests coming in, be it athletic events, parents, speakers, and it's where I recall, when we had a speaker come in and they used the N-word, and they were the speaker.
Mm-hmm.
Does this policy apply to something like that?
Well, certainly, I mean, third parties could include,
Yeah.
yeah, anybody.
So I just want to make sure that, I don't know, how do you inform our guests of this type of policy? Or do you just expect
Be
them
difficult.
to act professional?
Yeah,
And I think that example, it was used in one of the presentations, but not necessarily the others, I
It w-
thought.
yeah, right. I mean, I don't want to get into the.
No, we don't have
Right.
to get into it. Again, if
Details,
we
I
have
mean,
policy, I just want to make sure that we're
Yeah.
following
Yeah,
board policy.
certainly.
Gotcha. Anything else?
Yes, under page 4 of 11, letter or number 17. It talks about inappropriate boundary invasions may include but are not limited to providing advice to or counseling a student regarding a personal problem. And this talks about, I think it refers to staff counseling students, unless they're, like certified or they have a position here. I think a lot of times students will talk to a teacher or even a custodian, So I would presume that if they refer that student to those resources, that would be okay. I just don't want anyone I don't want to have a policy that's going to be restrictive.
Yes, and
Where we tell a student, no, you can't talk to me, you have to talk to this person.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, there are limits, of course, and it's one of those
Yeah.
things. It's not an ultimate, because certainly some people may be very comfortable and skilled enough to do that, and others are not and
Right.
should not. That they should be directly referring, to someone. So that's always a difficult thing. But that's why we train people. If a student comes to you, here's who you talk to.
And then page 10 of 11, in the middle, the heading is education and training. I would suggest we add district administrator or designee again.
Yes.
And
I
that's
think
it.
in most cases, you could probably make that change.
Possibly, but I think it should be in there,
Yep.
because I don't think
I agree.
it's Aaron's total responsibility, nor does he have time to do everything that is identified.
Moving on. 5503. No, 5530, excuse me. Student use or possession of intoxicants, drugs, or paraphernalia.
I thought it was interesting that they are including CBD on this. I think probably just to be safe, but it's.
I don't know.
I think you have to at this point. in
Yeah.
schools.
Separating the two is just impossible.
Yeah,
All derivatives.
fair.
yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, as well as essential oils.
Yeah, I know, that was interesting to me. The last paragraph about the shall prepare guidelines for identification that we're taking out, is there, why are we removing that part? Just, maybe because it's covered elsewhere?
Yeah, so I believe it is covered in another policy, Because this is more so just about violation, like possession, concealment. It's not about the prevention. I can look up and see what policy that is.
And I thought that was part of the rationale why it was being deleted.
Right. It's
Yeah,
because it's
placed somewhere else.
covered
Yeah.
in
Great. That's why I have.
another policy. I just don't know off the top of my head the number. Actually, there's a 50, let's see, this is, no, it's not that one. Yeah, I'm not sure off the top of, oh, no, I'm not sure off the top of my head which one it is. But I can look that up, certainly.
Okay. 6151, returned or outstanding stale checks.
I'd never heard that.
I've never heard that
hadn't
term
heard
either.
that term.
But I have a question. Under outstanding sale check, the last paragraph. If a check isn't cashed and it goes into the stale check category and
Yes.
goes back to the Wisconsin Department of Revenue, what's the situation if, let's say, a staff member goes to a conference, gets reimbursement for mileage or whatever with the check, and that might not be possible now if it's direct deposit anyway, so it might be mute.
Those are checks.
Those are checks?
Those aren't
But what if they,
direct deposit.
what if they tuck it away and they forget all about it, and then they find it after the expiration date? Does that mean they cannot get that payment then?
Is there an expiration date?
On
So
some
our
checks, right?
do have
Yeah.
an expiration date, but we also balance our books every month.
Mm-hmm.
So then we remind people, particularly.
Okay.
Do you still get a lot of checks?
No, this is like when we do reimbursements.
Those do go checks, those aren't direct deposits.
So
And I would
like
say,
if-
that's certainly going above and beyond, reminding somebody that they have a check, but I can understand the need to balance the books too, so I appreciate that.
Like we have direct deposit for all of our pool employees. That was a big thing to go through a long time ago.
That was a big thing everywhere.
I mean, that's a big requirement, that, like, everywhere now, just
Yeah.
seems easier.
Yep.
Takes away this.
It does, yeah.
Okay, anything else there? If not, 6236, Community Services Fund.
I just had a couple comments. So this is a new policy
Right.
about Fund 80, and just for the public, clarification that this fund has been around for a long time,
Yes.
right? And so this is really just to align policy and practice. And
Yep.
I
right?
suspect
And the
so.
law,
Yes, yes. Oh, that.
yeah. But it's, I think it's a good transparent policy.
Yes, exactly. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
And my question is under B there. They talk about, we won't let a significant barrier interfere with a student's participation. How do students learn about that, or parents? Is it by just a staff member saying, if you can't afford it, or we know you can't afford it, there's these funds available? And
Well-
how do they apply for them?
And notice that this is, and this isn't restricted to students too. I mean, it's
Community service.
any resident
No, yes.
using,
Yep.
yeah, so each program has, different ways that it's promoted.
I can say that on any communication that I see come out about those things, there's always some part
Okay.
that says, if you cannot afford this, or if this is a barrier, please reach out.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
good, yeah.
Okay. 6610, non-district supported student activity accounts. 6611, district-sponsored supported activity accounts. 7250.01, memorials for staff and students. 7440.02, smart monitoring equipment. Here we go. 7540.08, artificial intelligence. 8121, personal background check contracted services. 8146, notification of educational options.
Yes, in that first sentence, it talks about the district will, a list of educational options will be available to all children who reside in the district, and it will be provided to parents as a Class 1 notice. Could we include parents or caregivers? Because it could be foster parents, it could be grandparents.
Maybe it's guardian.
Guardian.
Yeah, I think
That's
that's
what
Yeah.
we've
typical
done
language.
in other policies.
Oh, yeah, I did put guardians, I couldn't read it.
Guardians are included in most everything now.
Yep, that's a easy technical correction.
Okay. 8310, public records. 8420.01, school safety.
Wait.
Wait,
Those are, I'm sorry. I thought they were together.
Oh, my only comment about the public records one is that I know that in our other policies, we're attempting to do gender neutral, and there are several his, her references in this one,
Oh, okay.
so,
That can be taken care of.
yeah.
Okay. 8420.01, school safety. 8500, food services. And 8700, nursing mothers. Okay, so, let's see, we've already. Okay, so now, I believe we've got a motion out there, correct? And a second. And is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously 5-0. Next is action on 2023, 2024 budget changes.
So this is, one of those annual things that we come and do and do adjustments based on the differences between what's projected and actual.
I would look for a motion to approve the budget changes.
I'll move to approve the budget changes for the 2023-24 school year as recommended by administration.
Thank you, Tom. Do I have a second?
I can-
Kate, thank you. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously, 5-0. Action on the recommended WEVA Destinations Career Academy and Insight School of Wisconsin, Wisconsin Statute 118.40, 8G, student transfers to resident districts. At this time, WEVA Destinations Academy, Career Academy, and Insight School of Wisconsin are requesting approval of the recommended student transfers back to their resident districts due to a lack of engagement. If you're in favor of recommendations, following the motion. I would look for a motion to approve.
I can make that.
Thank you, Bruce. Do I have a second?
I can second that.
Thank you, Megan. Discussion?
Well, I'm glad to see there's only 2 students in the elementary grades. There's 2 fifth grade students being returned to their districts.
Yep.
I prefer not to have any, at least elementary
We're
students.
getting closer.
I know we are.
Yep.
We're getting
Yep.
closer.
I mean, I think when we compare the statistics this year to the previous years,
Yeah.
it's much better.
It's significant.
I would
And I would
say
say
different.
it's due to the leadership of Sarah Cutler and her team
Absolutely.
over there.
I certainly
They've
wouldn't
put a
doubt
lot
that
of
one.
time and effort into supporting all these kids as
Yep.
much as they can.
Okay.
Yeah, she's done a lot.
Any other discussion? If not, please please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0 unanimously. And I think, does that take us to adjournment? I believe so. I would look for a motion to adjourn.
Make that motion.
Thank you, Kate.
I can second that.
Thank you, Megan. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0, unanimous. We are adjourned at, let's call it
Great.
8:10.
That was so much earlier than your estimation.